Hey y'all, what's up? Let me turn this down. Well, I almost had the scarlet background.
A scarlet background, like a red one?
Remember when we listened to Doja Cat?
Oh, got you.
The listening party. So I had that. Let
Mhm.
me I'm gonna change the frame. That way we can see your name there. Sung Jinwoo Supremacy. Welcome to Otaku Talk. I know, right? I'm so excited to talk about it.
It's here.
I know. I have to do my Oprah sound. Like, let's talk about it. I feel like that's just like an Oprah thing at this point in my mind. But before we jump into Solo Leveling and first thoughts and reactions to it, I'm so excited to talk about it. So, like, we didn't even seem to I didn't realize that it was coming as soon as Jujutsu Kaisen was done, and I'm so happy about it because I did not want an anime drought. Yeah, I didn't want an anime drought, and also a few other anime I've been waiting on for a few years that I can never remember the name of. Like, has that ever happened to you? Like, you may have saw a trailer like some years ago, and it's something that you just kind of forgot because it was so far off, and then like I couldn't remember the name.
First thing that come to mind was Go-Go Rangers.
Really?
The like the boys type Power Ranger anime that's supposed to be coming out. I've been waiting on that for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
I almost forgot the name last time I talked about it.
And like, I remember the first time I saw the trailer for this show I've been watching called Sign of Affection. It's about a girl who's deaf, and it's a romance anime. And I remember seeing a trailer for it like 2 years ago. Like, I was in Memphis when I saw it. It was almost 2 years ago. And I remember loving it and wanting to see it. It was so aesthetic. And I just remember Yuki being in it, but I had no idea what the name of the show was. I was distraught. Like, as soon as the trailer, because it came up like on an ad. So I couldn't figure out where. I was distraught. I could never find it.
I was trying to think to myself, like, that sounds very unique too. Because I'm like, have I ever seen an anime with a deaf character, period? Like, supporting or main?
I think the one called, not my wig sliding, the one called that everybody likes called A Silent Voice. There's a deaf girl in that one. That's like one of my favorites. It's a good movie. So I've seen a few like this, but I knew I would love it. And so when I saw it pop up, I was like, oh my God, this is that anime. I was so happy. So like Solo Leveling coming out, and then Sign of Affection coming out. I was so happy about it. And then I've been watching Apothecary Diaries, which is another romance. And I started one about the villain's day off. And Heaven's Official Blessing, which I figured out was coming out.
I got an issue because I text you.
But like,
what have you been watching?
This all happened. This all happened today. That's why I'm late.
Oh, today. Okay. Because I was like, girl.
I watched Solo Leveling today. And then, it's like, then I watched the romance thing. So then, it like closes out, and then it's like, oh, this is other stuff you should watch. And then it was just kind of like, I was like, oh, let me just watch this villain show because it sounded funny. It's like a villain who fights like something like the Power Rangers, and he loves pandas. It's like a comedy. So he's on his day off from being a super villain, this demon villain, and he wants to go to the zoo to see pandas. It's so funny. It's so cute. And I was like, oh my God, this sounds so funny. So I watched that. And then I saw Heaven's Official Blessing, and I was like, bitch, I've been waiting on this anime for 2 years. So I watched like 3 episodes, knowing good and well I had a show. This all happened today. Like, in the span of the last 3 hours, I have watched like 4 different shows. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was wondering what you was doing. Because you was like, I'll be there in a minute.
I was kicking and screaming. So Heaven's Official Blessing is a boy's love. It's Chinese.
Somebody just brought up Shonen Ai in my work forum, and it was like, does anybody watch the genre? Because I was like, since I've been here in the last year and a half, 2 years, nobody's brought that up at all in our anime channel. And I jumped on. I was like, girl, give me all your recommendations, because I don't think the last time, I haven't seen like a actual boys love legit in years.
Really?
Like years. Yeah,
I'm in a Discord group, and we watch it every Sunday. We watch different ones.
Oh, wait. I did watch a little bit of that. What was that? Mignon?
Mignon. Not Mignon. Oh, you did. That was the last one you watched.
Yeah, that was okay. But I didn't watch it fully. So I don't know if I can really consider it. But
But no, I mean, it's Heaven's Officials. It's like it's a full show. It's got this is season 2. It's good. It's not smutty. It's not as smutty. It's like an actual plot to the show.
Gotcha. Because the other one was
it's like a full season. It has an actual plot, and it's really good. I love season 1. It's on Netflix, and I was just so shook because I was like, China out here like this, like.
Really?
Oh, I love it.
Like,
it's so cute. I be kicking the screen.
You said China?
Yeah, it's Chinese.
Listen, and then we got the Koreans out here. Well, never mind. I'm gonna bring it up when we get to it.
Okay. But no, It's a Boy's Love. It's really good. It's like one of my favorites, and it's not like smut. I mean, it's very suggestive, but it's not. Ooh, this dice rolling scene. Ooh, I'm telling you, that's why I was late, because I might have watched it like 4 times, and it was just like really suggestive. Oh, it's so good.
Was there some nice finger animations?
It was some nice finger animations, and they were talking about rolling the dice. So one's obviously the more like masculine, the top, one's like this feminine kind of bottom guy, and then like they're talking about rolling dice, but he's like big or small, and then he's like big, and then they're like holding hands and like slowly shaking the dice while looking at each other intensely. It was so erotic. I was like, oh my God.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sorry. Screaming internally. So it's really good. I highly recommend it. Season 2 is out. It's like 11 episodes out. So that was a pleasant surprise. So we in the good anime fields right now. So we gonna go into Solo Leveling, which I'm so excited. I'm gonna let you start because you have been waiting on this. I feel like you should start.
Like, when I say the amount, now obviously we've been watching some of the trailers like leading up to this, and I don't know what's the difference between seeing those trailers and the clips within it and now. Maybe it's because I recently have been going back and taking a look at some of the panels and stuff from the manga, so I'm just fresh on my mind now since it's out versus when we were reviewing it before. But I'm just like, I'm so pleased. When I say I feel so fed in the best way, like, and it did take till episode 2 for me to fully be there, because I was like on a little bit of seesaw, but not really. It was never 50-50 of like liking it or not liking it. It was more like 90 with some critique,
Yeah,
but
that's what
this episode fully got me on board, this last one. Same. But we haven't talked about either episode.
We haven't talked about either because we were off that week, and I think for me, I was more around like 70. It took me a little convincing. I wasn't convinced. I had no, and I like isekai, but I'm a little over isekai, and this is kind of isekai with a twist, which I like.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I was kind of like, do I need another isekai in my life right now? Like, I was very closed off to it, but I was like 70-30. But after episode 1, I was like 90.
After the episode.
Yeah, something about it. I just had, it was okay. But then after this one, I was like, I was on the edge of my seat, like mouth agape, like,
yes,
close your jaw, like lift your jaw up. You're looking crazy. So it was great. So let's start off with, I don't know, where should we start? Because we've been doing trailer reactions over time. So let's talk about that. You said you don't know what it was from the trailers that you got from the show. Let's unpack that. Because I feel like the trailers, I don't feel like what I saw was so different from the trailers, but it's just something about the in-between that you obviously can't get from the trailers that felt fuller to me, but I don't know what it was.
Maybe because I was putting myself in a headspace of someone who hasn't read the content before or the manwa before. So I think my opinions was based off just coming and looking at that with fresh eyes. But like seeing the story actually get explained and actually play out, and also just seeing the response too from, because it feels like when I was going back and actually my obsession at the time with Solo Leveling goes back to the beginning of this podcast, because I remember the first couple episodes.
Do remember that.
That's when I was in the thick of it, like really. If not my second watch, if my second read through, that was either my second or first. But anyway, I was in the thick of it then. So seeing the reception, there was a lot of like, it felt like mixed reactions to it. A lot of people was considering the story to be like mid, and the only thing I can speak to that, and I think it's a plus in the context of off the heels of Jujutsu Kaisen, the plot the power structure, all this stuff, I do not feel is like over convoluted. It's more on the simple line. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to understanding. So I feel like
less simple, like more simple than Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay, because you know you gotta write, you gotta do notes.
Yeah, the conversation about that is not the same with Solo Leveling. It's very straightforward for the most part. There's some stuff that could use explaining, but it's very simple to understand. So I think like seeing the dramatics of this second episode coupled with I feel like the simplicity of understanding what's going on was just like what people needed, especially after Jujutsu Kaisen, you know.
Ooh, cause child, like I think you could probably do a dissertation in a college about Jujutsu Kaisen.
You really
could. Techniques, probably. You really could, because it's so complicated.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go through and episode 1. Like we got introduced to it. I kind of like don't really. I just remember my biggest impressions from first episode was just like really impressed with how weak Sung Jin was.
Wait.
Like I was impressed with how weak this man was.
Damn.
Yeah, he was so weak. And they like made it very like you know that Kevin Hart meme where he was talking to what's his name, and he was like he 50 or something like that, and he was like, damn. Like just,
oh yeah.
Damn.
He was concerned. He's like, damn.
Right. That's how I felt when they were talking about him being like level E or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how he had on all these clothes. And I think that was important for me because you did a great job of not spoiling anything about this for me. So when I saw his clothes, I think when I was watching the trailers, I'm just like, he's just so generic. Like not as a plot device, but as like, I'm too lazy to even give this guy a good outfit because he's so normal. We're just trying to make him so normal that we ain't even gonna give him a good outfit. Like that's kind of what does that make sense? Like that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, oh, another overpowered but very plain anime protagonist like Kirito in Sword Art Online, which I love Sword Art Online, but Kirito, he irritates me.
Yeah.
And so I think I was triggered when I saw the trailers because this is 1, the same studio.
Yeah.
2, he looked a lot like Kirito. I mean,
kind of similar, yeah.
It's like a variant where he had
dark
the hoodie,
hair, very
dark hair,
design.
very slim, he's not built.
Yeah.
He's got a hoodie. So, but then hearing that it was like, this is all the gear I could get, like this is all I can afford because I'm so weak and so I don't get any money. I was like, okay, so they put him in this with a purpose. And then that's when it kind of started to win me over, I think.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like they address a lot of stuff. Although there was some stuff that I think wasn't made as black and white or plainly clear in the anime versus, and it's not a lot, but like his reasoning for wanting to continue through the to the second dungeon that we saw, which was good too.
That was good.
Yeah. But I think we should should we just give like kind of the synopsis of the show or like go into it? So basically, the world 10 years before the beginning of this episode, gates just start appearing over the world, and those were like these tunnels to the to another dimension, or called the chaos dimension, I think that's what it's called, and it has just all these random ass beasts and opponents. And at the same time, people started awakening abilities, but the thing is, in this world, once you awaken abilities, that's it. Like, that's kind of where your power level is forever. You can't really train to jump from a D rank to an S rank. That's not really possible, which is crazy to me.
That was like, so now that instantly pulled me in because they like made, me, I was like, they made a point to say that, and he's E. So like, what's the T? Like, I'm just so curious to know. Like, I'm still like, what is gonna happen? Because they really made a point with that. So
yeah, they was not playing with you. They was not playing. They're like all hunters.
Yeah, and then they're like, this isn't one of those Naruto stories where you could just believe in yourself and get stronger. So like, it just made me very curious to know like what's gonna be his journey. I still at this point don't know what's about to happen. I don't. So we meet him, but yeah, go ahead. You can't level up.
Yeah, so you
And
can't
then
level up and you're stuck where you are. So also just a little bit of information, because it was kind of mentioned in the episode,
mhm.
that the reason why it's such like why hunters are such a big thing is because like these gates have to get closed, period. If they are open longer than 7 days, that's what
I
they call it, a
heard.
break. And like
Yeah.
anything that's within that dimension or in that portion of the gate is able to come into our world. And that's
Right, which they
obviously a
just kind of
problem.
very much so clarified, and I was like, oh, okay, so now it makes even more sense. Because like in episode 1, it felt more like they wanted to use, what do they collect in the dungeons when they beat the bosses, whatever the white things are,
There's the essence stones that are
the
inside the
stones.
bosses and stuff, but there's also
Mhm.
just like regular loot and mana crystals that you can
Right, because they're
take
trying to
from it
use
as
that as
well.
like a power source, renewable energy, which was cool. I
Mhm.
like the lore behind why, because that's like one of those things that isekai is like. Of course, some of them are video game worlds, and then that gives a reason for people to do stuff, which is no reason. But here it was like a reason for these people like doing this and going in there and putting their life in danger. It's like the loot,
Mhm.
and the government is also supporting it to protect the world and use it as renewable energy source. So I kind of like that little bit
That
of
part
lore.
was like, okay, because like completely clear, you know, the
Mhm.
exhaust from like fossil fuels and all that stuff. I was like, right, like give us actual stakes. Why
Give
are we
us
in here
stakes. Why
risking
are we
our
in here?
lives?
Because the way I would never want to have powers.
Not in this world. When
Not
you
in
really
this
think about
world.
it. When
But
you
they
really
don't
think
have to
about
do it, right?
They don't. They really don't.
Okay.
And that's the thing that Sung Jin Woo, he was having that battle because he's always been an E rank hunter, right?
Right.
He always get hurt, which nobody gets hurt in E and D rank missions, just nobody.
Well,
But him. So although they also made it a point in the manhwa to say that he's not really good at anything.
yeah.
Like outside of this. And he's
He's
not
just
really,
a
really
normal
good at this.
guy. It kind of sucks because they treat him so bad, but he's just like us. He's just normal.
Like old chick that flipped the switch in Chainsaw Man. Remember, she didn't want to be in the Hunters Association either.
That's basically
same kind of thing. It's basically him. But the thing about these gates and being a hunter is the come up, even if you are an E or a D rank hunter, can be immediate. Like he's realizing he's in a position where he goes through this regular dungeon, he goes through all this BS and only has this E rank mana crystal that I did some research is kind of like equivalent to $80.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad you did that research.
But he's risking his life for $80, right?
That's
so
sad.
At the end, when they beat the boss in the first dungeon, they found out it's like a double dungeon, which is unheard of, never happened before. Like, what the hell is this? So they continue, because if this is a higher dungeon and they're able to already be in here and have permission from the Hunters Association to be in this dungeon, they can continue, maybe win, and just clean up with unprecedented loot. You know what I mean? So they can become,
it made sense.
Like even though it was like y'all don't know what y'all are doing.
But then why would they think it would be like an S rank or high boss? Like I could see the logic. Hey Mandrill, I could see the logic. Because you're like, we're already in here, so even at worst, maybe C, I wouldn't. There's nothing in me also that would have assumed, like, well, some of the people voted. Like, how would you have voted, like, in that moment when they were like, let's vote and see if we're gonna go explore farther or we're gonna go back home. So this is the.
I want to race to the exit, or like, do y'all? Girl,
I would have voted to go.
See, I would have been so.
But when I seen that door, though, I would have been.
That's what I'm saying.
This is the door of a boss.
Thank you. Because for me, it was like, okay, we entered in here, we thought we killed the boss, but the gate's not closing. Right. Oh, we see a tunnel. Let's go further down. When I started hitting the 30-minute mark of walking, and we still ain't got nowhere, we ain't seen nothing. I'm already starting to shake in my clothes. And then when we get to the door, like I said, we are in a cave. We were just fighting goblins and shit. And now we got this ornate ass door that we got to probably work as a team to open.
Anybody who play video games.
Anybody.
See an ornate door.
That's at least 30 feet tall. I'm turning around.
Yeah,
this is a boss.
Yeah, that's the part where I've been in. It is not like y'all couldn't have turned around. So
And
And then
y'all
they were
got
like,
one healer too out of
right.
everybody.
And she's B class, but then they said like, oh, the door is usually not, it's usually not a door. I think he said something like it's usually just something else. Like if it's
Oh, I think you froze for me. Bree, come back. Is it just me, y'all? Mandrill.
Am I back? Okay.
Yeah, you back.
My internet had cut off for a second. But I was gonna say, like, you know, like on Secret of the Mana, when you fall in the cave, you just go in the cave door. It's not like an ornate door. So
right.
They even said that, like, nah, it's usually not like this. So yeah, it's kind of weird that they would have just went through that big ass ornate door.
And what really made me mad, and they actually changed this, and I don't know why they did it, maybe to give the character a little bit more likability, but the head person, the one with the amber hair, that was like being like, let's take a vote. Oh, it's 6 and 6. What do you think, Sun Jinru? It wasn't really, I mean, they did take a vote and stuff, but he was more like, I'm about to go in here like by myself. So y'all can like come if you want. Like, so and it was like real guilt trippy. Yeah. So it's like it kind of like pushed their hand before Sung even had a say in the matter, which I was like, I guess you can like make it seem more like an anime. It was more of Sung's decision, like, since he was the tiebreaker of the vote. So I feel like they wanted to maybe put more.
And it also would be crazy because it ain't no way I would have sat there and let the E class person in the group be the deciding vote to go in. I'd be like, first of all, he don't even count.
Why is he speaking?
Unless he votes to go home. Like, unless he votes to go home, why are we really listening to him? Because we basically down one person anyway. Because we know Sun Jinwoo ain't finna do nothing. Why you get to be the deciding vote? It's just no way I would have sat there and been like, he get to be the deciding vote? Oh, I'm going home.
Because in that moment, he has nothing to add on paper. Nothing.
He's here. And like, it was so bad in episode 1. It was the shade of it all for me, where they're like, if he's on a mission with you, boo, you making it home today.
To the point where you were a good omen.
Yeah. Like,
that is horrible.
He's good luck because, you know, he only goes on really easy missions. So yes, they go into this ornate room and they get in here where it's like this, I don't even know what it is. It looked like a religious sanctuary, almost like a ritual room, huge ritual room that they inside. Yeah,
surrounded by like 12 or 24, I don't know how many, like maybe, like I said earlier, like maybe 20 feet statues. Yeah,
because there's like there was the instruments, then the knights, so it's like about 8 of them, 4 instruments, and then like 3 different gods. And
the stone colossal titan sitting right in front of you too.
Chat, we finna get fed, because first of all, episode 1 was great. The one thing I loved about both episodes, I just love the person that's me. Like, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation in real life where people like panicked, but you watch anime and you feel like that one person who just gotta do the scream. That's a real thing.
We was laughing I was laughing at that so hard. I said, bitch, it's the 3rd time. Yeah.
And that's gonna be me. That would have been me.
Every time something happened, her ass would scream for 2 seconds and then just stop.
That's my girl right there, because what's really going on? But the funny thing is, that's a real phenomenon. Like, if you've ever been on a plane with bad turbo, it's always that one person that's like, we're gonna die. I'm like, you need that person. You need that person. So that was hilarious to me. I laughed too hard.
I cackled. Like, it wasn't the first time I did, and I was like, I mean, reasonable. The second time I was like, the 3rd time I just could not control.
Ooh, I was so sad when I was so sad when she died, because she was really adding energy. She was adding vibes to the whole scene, and I was just laughing too hard at that girl screaming like, every time, bitch, you ain't ready yet.
Because I'm for real, like, we go from, you know, Sung having those very I love the fear in his eyes at the end of the first episode. But we went from that to him calming down and like thinking strategically as the weakest person on the planet. That's a hunter. Well, you know, it was like, I love seeing seeing him use whatever experience he had to at the end of it all, you know, find a way to move forward and help. But
when you're weak. Got to use that mind.
You got
That's
to.
all. That's all you got. Yeah.
So to paint the situation in the room again, they walk in, they see all these statues. Me, even if we didn't turn around before the door was open, I would have turned around after the door was open, because we see nobody in this room besides these statues. My mind immediately goes to we fighting these statues, and I'm gone.
Yeah.
That's that's just where, even when I was reading the first time, I was like, no, turn around. So they see this kind of like a ghost type statue that's like a little different from all the other ones, and it has this tablet, which are commandments, and it has 3, and it says praise God.
It's I think praise is the second. Revere God, praise God,
and then prove your faith. Yeah. So they don't know what the hell that means until them doors close. Real Game of Thrones, bitch. Reigns of Castamere start playing in the background.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what music did you hear in your head when those doors closed? Is it
Reigns of Castamere?
I heard the 100. Secret of the Mana battle music.
Okay, that ain't a bad one either.
That's what I kind of heard.
That's not a bad one either. The shit is going down.
It's going down.
Is the goal here.
They have the boss music. You fight all the time. It's either you're just walking through fighting, but you walk in a fucking room, it's nothing in that bitch, and that music come on, you'd be like, oh shit. I'm
mad that you saying this like the music actually is heard from the people in the room, which if I was ever in izakaya, please let there be music. Please let there be music
so I can know.
Because if I walk into a room thinking it's a meeting and I hear a do-do-do-do, bitch.
Yeah, you like, oh.
You know what? I did not cut my magic stove off. And it likes to explode every hour if I don't.
I start instantly inventorying, seeing how many potions you got and magic, hit points, magic points, potions you got. Oh my God,
that's another thing too.
And they don't even have that, do they?
No, they have, and that's the thing too, which I don't know if is context that are gonna inform us on. Healers are so rare in this world.
Wow. Oh, I didn't know that.
Like it's very rare for you to be awakened with healing powers. They'll run the gamut. Lightning, you can do, I don't know, control rats or whatever, all this stuff, but healing is like
really
low on the totem pole of people,
so
they are important. Orihime would be a star here.
I mean, her little cousin was in there with them. I was like, oh, a little orange hair healer girl, that was cute. So but in the first episode, so they instantly got eye beam. Didn't he have like them Homelander beams with the person that was creepy though. I love the way they did it. Make your situation
worse. How can you make this situation worse? Oh yeah, give the Colossal Titan laser beams.
It was. Let's talk. Okay, so first episode they got eye beams. I think I just love how they show the people dying. Like it's so gruesome. Like they showing legs cut off, arms cut off. Like it's really raising the stakes. It was traumatic.
I'm sorry, we got to rewind for 2 seconds because they are showing some the reason I'm going back to this is because there was a gruesome part in the opening. The opening intro is completely like new from my recollection. This is not how the show opened up. We got introduced like where those hunters were fighting the ants.
Were you triggered because of Hunter x Hunter?
I have never in my life looked at an ant the same since Hunter x Hunter. And when I tell you, anytime ants are in a show like this, they be like really just ruining stuff. You know what I mean?
Ants are like that, bitch.
Like apparently, like Hunter x Hunter was my first time. I feel like not my first time probably, but that I could remember fresh on my brain at the time. Ants being a problem. You know what I mean?
I thought it was very triggering. I was like, that's a good touch. Like it feels so meta to like make ants doing that. So that wasn't in the manga or manwa.
I mean, what is interesting about that is they introduced like 3 or 4 characters that we don't see for like 90 some odd chapters.
Oh, that's cute.
And I love that because like what's his name? Byung-go. Ooh, what's his name?
The only person name I know right now is Sunji Woo. And what's that girl name? June what's her name? The one he liked?
Junho.
Junho, yeah. That's the only 2 I know.
Oh, that's what it was. Byung-gyu. He is like a person that people I think really liked around when he was introduced, but getting more time to see these characters, early. Like, I'm hoping that it's something they keep jumping back and forth, because I would really love to get more time with a lot of these characters that we don't see a lot of later on in the show. And they do have like pretty great personalities, it seems. So that was interesting.
I like that little scene too. I like seeing that. And Sung Jin-woo was in that scene, right? He was.
No, he wasn't. No,
it was somebody who looked like him, who looked scared. Why he looked like him?
It was another fodder character.
Okay.
In the background.
I thought it was him, because I was going to say, is this the origin story? Because I'm still trying to figure out a name. So
but it was good though, because it like sped up the timeline of us seeing what they could do in an action scene. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I was very happy with what I saw in that immediately. I was like, okay, building trust in the animation early, even though the manwa is so detailed, it's so beautiful every panel, because it's also in full color, so it's an experience reading it. And I think I have such high expectations of seeing it animated, but like when I saw that second episode, it really put me in a place of, this is an adaptation in Twan. And for what they are doing, I am all in so far. Right. Like, there's fluidity in it.
Anime. It was made in Japan. It's Japan studio. They changed it to fit, so this is an anime. So I wouldn't expect it to look exactly like, manhwa.
But another thing, like I said, I just been so obsessed with this show. I did a little bit of research for today. The opening animation was a Korean studio. They outsourced that opening.
Oh,
the one that we saw in episode 2. Oh no, the opening song, the intro song. Yeah.
Oh, they did. That's cute. I think that's
when good. I tell you, I am so on the fence about it, because number one, it's beautiful. It's what I imagined Solo Leveling to be in my head, but it's another studio, girl. Like, we not getting that every day.
This was the first we finally got to see it. They closed out with it last, that's the new formula. You close out with the opening on the first episode, and then you get the full thing on the next episode. That's the more recent thing. So before we get to that, we gotta finish episode 1. They got beamed, and then so basically we end with them just realizing shit has hit the fan.
Oh yeah, we gonna die.
Everybody's terrified, screaming. Sung Jin-woo has his dilated pupil shot, shaking eyes. I love his shaking fear eyes. It's the best. And then I think we left off there, right, with some very upbeat music. What you gonna get? Like, okay.
The doors, Jujutsu Kaisen has opened.
Right. Believe in yourself. I'm like,
believe in yourself.
I'm like, okay, but I knew it was the intro, so I was like, that's cute. But I was into it though, because it was very good. I think it was a good first episode. I think episode 2 was obviously stronger, but I think it started off just the way it needed to. I think episode 1 was good enough where I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this. And then we get to episode 2, which, like you said, we get the opening for the first time. I love the opening animation. I love the I think when we reacted to the song, we were kind of like on the fence about it.
Yeah, definitely.
More so because I didn't know if, and even still, like, I could see this story being a very dark anime, like more like Attack on Titan, like more muted palettes. Even though the manhwa itself is very colorful, I've seen some of the panels, it's very bright and vivid. So I think because it's so vivid and saturated, a more upbeat song can work, even though it's very dark. Because they could have made this very dark. Like, this could be a darker color palette wise. It could be very muted, because it's like very despair, and some anime lean into that whole dark and despair and like make the color palette match that. But this is not like that. It's very vivid and colorful. So I feel like that's why the song still works.
Yeah, I feel like there's a good balance. There's a good balance throughout the arc of this entire story. I feel like, we absolutely have our serious moments. We have our despair moments, like in these first 2 episodes. But also there are lighthearted moments. There's parts that make you laugh, that it just feel good. So I think it is pretty cute. And like, after listening to it like 4 times, since I don't watch this second episode back so much, I do really like the intro now. Like
Oh, I be
when it pop
singing
on, I'm like,
I told you even before it came out. I think I said on another episode we had that I had been singing it because it was like in my head. Like, what you gonna? It's a cute song and it's very K-pop. I'm on my K-pop thing, so it's very K-pop, and I love that it's K-pop because this is a manhwa. So I just like all the little, like, respect that they pay to the source material in ways that they can, while making it make sense to be made in Japan by an animation studio. But like you said, a Korean studio did the opening, which is crazy. The opening.
That's why I love it too, because you're still giving, paying the respect to it.
Giving
we
them
got the blessing.
Shout out.
We got the blessing of them not changing the names for the ones that, because it's not changing names for people coming into this fresh is probably not a big deal at all. But these are their names to us, that like these, I can't, what was his name? I think I have it. I took a couple of
it would seem weird to change their names to like something Japanese too, because you'd be like, okay, so who is this? So you gotta go through that whole thing. I guess you would know, but I think it would be like disrespectful also. But I like that. So is this in Japan, but they got Korean names?
So apparently, and somebody fact check me, in Japan airing, they did change the names.
Oh,
like in what people in Japan are watching while it's aired on TV, they have different names. But Crunchyroll, I don't know if the voice actors did two separate, no, because they're saying these names too in here. Like I was trying to pay attention. I was like, okay, so they just changed up the subtitles, but I'm like, no, I think I hear it too.
So why are they? That's interesting. Why they changed it in Japan? I mean, they're capable of saying Korean names. I don't understand why they wouldn't.
I don't know, that's so weird to me. I mean, I was against them changing names, period. But I was like, okay, Japanese animation studio.
Maybe it would be more of maybe it would be more of, it would take them out of it more. Because it's like, if you're in Japan and they all have Korean names, like for us over here, it's kind of just like, unfortunately, it's like Asian people.
I see what you mean.
But like, it would be like, if you were watching a show where everybody was in the hood, like, from our area we came from, but they all had like not black Southern names or accents. Like it would just be a thing that would like maybe take some people out of it. Like, just like everybody's in the hood. This is a hood movie, like next Friday, or fucking Boys in the Hood. Everybody's name's Jake and Becca. You'd be like, bitch, I can't watch
the
this.
immersion is gone, right?
So it may be a bit of an emergent thing for them. Like, it always in Japan, so why they got all Korean names, like it might just take you out of it a little bit more if you were like Japanese.
I mean, the change was from Sung Jinwoo to, or Jinwoo Song, because they're how they put it,
last name,
to Shun Musashino. I don't like that.
Shun? Like
Shun. S-H-U-N.
Also, his last name is Shun?
Yeah. Well, no, I think yeah. Wait, no, I think Shun is his first name. Musashino doesn't sound like a first name, right? Does that sound like a Japanese last name? Musashino?
Yeah, Musashino seems like the last name. I don't like that. I feel like they should do something close though.
Yeah, because his first name is Jinwoo.
Yeah. Seems like you should just do like, yeah, that's just weird to me.
Yeah. So I was just happy.
They didn't do that.
Right. I was very much so happy. That was like, honestly, with just that addition, I would have forgave a couple of more other things that might have happened in this episode. Just off of that. So,
but it's manhwa, so I assume it was Korea. Yeah. So they gave them Japanese names in Japan, but for us over here, people watching on Crunchyroll, they still have their original names, which are Korean names. So we got the intro. It's great. It's amazing. And then we get into the second episode. We're in the thick of it, which is also why I thought about the Secret of the Mana, because that's the name of the battle. The boss battle song is called In the Thick of It. So we're in the thick of it, and I loved this episode because this is the moment where I'm glad I haven't read the source material and I don't know anything, because I love a good mystery. I love trying to solve something with somebody. I love a good puzzle. So if I can watch a show and I'm like trying to figure stuff out, I got blues clues in this bitch, I'm very happy. So I love this episode. I love the trying to figure it out kind of thing. It was great.
So what were you thinking, like when the dude got up? Number one, the door slammed. I'm talking about batted him like a gnat. like I feel like there was no resistance on that statue's weapon when it flew through that man like butter.
Ooh, I was triggered. The moment that didn't even bother me. I was just triggered from the Smiling Titan crossover.
Oh my god!
I never need to see that face again.
And we got that smile in this series is iconic because I think that was the last portion of that chapter. Like we got him they finally got it. They got their head down, they're crazy. He stopped, and then all of a sudden, bitch, the last panel was that big ass smile with the darkened eyes.
I was triggered.
Goosebumps.
Immediately triggered.
Goosebumps.
Like I can't do like it's too soon for me. But I did, like, when I first heard the 3 commandments, I knew that it was gonna be related to what they had to do. Like something about the statues. So it was cool though, but even knowing that, it still was kind of hard to figure out what it meant. So I just love the curveballs. Like the first one was pretty good. Like Revere, I'm like, yeah, you gotta bow to it or whatever. And that one was good. But yeah, when that smile came up, does the smile mean you did it, right?
Yeah, I mean they got the first portion at that point. That's why I feel like the smile was like, oh, so I get to actually get the hell up now. Oh, y'all moving forward. Because he's probably like anybody that's ever went in that thing probably has never gotten past that, you know?
Right. It was scary. That was scary.
Like
it was scary anyway when it first activated, because she was like, that statue just looked at you, and then like the eyes started glowing. That was already creepy for me. But
even before, the fact that they didn't show it moving immediately, it was just like, that statue just looked like that one. And it was just, I love the amount of time they had Sung just staring at it from behind. Like once he saw them other ones move, he wasn't focused on them no more. He immediately was like, that means
that was that was scary. But when it started walking, we got our little Attack on Titan rumbling moment. And
episode 1, we had to wait years for the rumbling.
And then when that thing got it's like the shots of it walking around with them glowing eyes, with that smile, with that glowing smile, with the eyes and the crown. It was so scary.
And then manicure statue toes.
It was scary. And then that guy who was like praying, and I instantly he's like, I've been studying ethnology, and I said, when I started hearing him, when he started praying, I said, who you praying to? That's the wrong
That's probably
guy.
why you got stepped on, right? Because it was like I didn't write that prayer.
Like the Christian God or something. Who you praying to? It just
blasphemy in my face. Blasphemy in my face.
I instantly was like, this is wrong. I don't know what. At first I was like, they're just gonna start shouting praises, like, you're so amazing, you're amazing. Like I thought they were gonna start doing that.
You better go, girl. Yes. You better work that crowd.
That's what I thought originally. I thought they was just gonna start yelling all kind of praises and stuff like that. So that was cool, like to see the praying. But and then the way they showed them crumble under the foot, they really was doing too much. You could have just cut away. They showed their spine breaking, like you can see.
What other show did that? Hunter did that. It's way in the last arc, but somebody's ability gagged you when they activated it for the first time, and that's kind of what that looked like. Yeah,
it was brutal.
Attack on Titan, female Titan, first time she got introduced, what she did to Petra when she kicked her against that tree and her ass was bent backwards.
Yeah, it was brutal though to see them like collapse, and I mean, it was bad. Yeah, it was just bad. So yeah, that was traumatic.
Praying wasn't working apparently.
It wasn't. But I loved how fast Sunjin was thinking on his feet. I liked it. He was very smart.
I like that he didn't get it right away though. He didn't.
Yeah, like I like that too.
The whole him deciding, oh sorry, I got a plane in the background, and the smile just happened.
Ooh, child.
Curling over them teeth.
Oh.
But so he was trying to decipher what the praise them was.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't until they started dispersing when they realized it wasn't working, people just getting stomped left and right, to where he realized the difference. Scatter, because that's the best idea anybody got. We can't just be huddled up right now. At least he can choose one person. It's gonna take a second for him to get from here to here, but it gives me another second to think. So good job on that one.
Right.
But he noticed the difference between these statues around. Some, like you said earlier, had instruments, others had weapons. And so they was like run towards the one with instruments, and that was the form of praise, I think, was the songs.
And I love that they use the music to add like dramatic effect as well to the scene of him crawling, because I loved how they did that. I liked how he's so nice. He took the girl, you know, and both of them couldn't go, and he decided he was gonna run and go to the other one. So it's just
I would have pushed her so goddamn quick. It's only one, bitch. I would have hurricane out right on.
Run like the wind, Jim.
Me leave my security.
Run like the wind. We need me a lot. I got the brains of the operation, girl. You need to run.
She was just crumbled on the floor the moment. She went from 0 to 100 when it came to height difference.
Yeah.
she went to the ground immediately.
That would have been me, just on the ground. But that was sweet of him. But I did like how they did that, like when he was running, and like I was cheering for him, and I figured he would make it, obviously, but I still didn't know if he would. Like they did a good job. I knew he would make it. I didn't know if he lost all of his bottom half of his body. Like I was kind of fully expecting, because you know how they played the camera trick where you could kind of tell he lost something when the thing went down.
Oh yeah.
So he ran to the wrong spot at first, and then it did the shield thing. And you knew he lost something, but they kind of let you wait before they, like, you had to kind of just, what did he lose? I fully expected it to just be a torso. I don't know why.
Losing his torso?
No, like I just thought it was gonna be his torso left. Yeah, like his legs was gonna be mostly gone or all gone. Like I don't know why, but that's how good they did with me not feeling like, well, I already know he the main character, but I just was still like, yeah, I could see them. He ain't got nothing but a torso.
I mean, a lot of shows nowadays. Oh my god, this show is so gruesome. I'm sorry. I just saw. So one, like, what was it? There's a random character with yellow hair laying on the ground, arm already off, and at the edge of the camera. That wasn't enough. The statue cut him in half, and they showed his other half of the body floating in the air and back down again.
It's so bad. And this guy with a pregnant wife, I mean, they was trying to make me feel bad for him, child. I said, well,
right down the middle.
Better you than her.
Ooh, and then the eyes going to separate. Yeah, they really. That's a thing though, because it's so bright and vibrant in that first episode too. Girl, they pulled your wig back with this episode. They said we're gonna give you a taste of what you can expect in this one if you thought it was gonna be a little fun shonen.
Believe in yourself, like, bitch, that intro song got me fucked up.
Is it believing yourself? I thought it was. Is it like believing yourself or giving your? I thought it was like you're giving yourself the best shot.
I have no idea.
I don't know either. It's just from what I hear. I don't know. I didn't see no lyrics.
You gotta go reach out and get you or something. Go reach out and get. I don't know, but it's very motivating.
Yeah, because you got to change your situation.
So yeah, when that happened, I fully was like, he might just be a torso, because I kind of started to feel like he would die. Like I saw that shot of him just being on the ground, and like I was just like, yeah, he ain't making it out of this in some way. So I didn't really know how it was gonna go. So yeah, I definitely saw like him being. I was nervous. I was like, oh, what did he lose? But then it was just like a foot. It's like, okay,
a leg, yeah, a little bit like his ankle, mid
shin. Yeah, he lost a bit chunk. So that was great, and I love the music, like, because they were playing the different notes. It added to that dramatic effect when he was running to the last one. It was like this opera music, this like very dramatic effect. I love that because I feel like this is almost an ode to Attack on Titan, almost, because Attack on Titan is pretty old.
The same musical conductor for Attack on Titan does this show.
Oh, so that makes sense now. I feel like that was because I feel like one of the most epic moments in anime is when fucking Bertolt became the colossal titan right in front of Eren, and that musical score that they play is iconic, like iconic. If we were going to talk about anime music or music theory for dramatic effect, that is the standard right there. So I love this because it felt like an ode to that, like that this big titan walking towards you and this opera music playing. So I love that little moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna obviously do my 1000% best to never spoil anything in this show, because the ride should be what it is. But when I tell you there are some grandiose scenes in this show, and I cannot wait to
just
hear
seeing
the music.
opening. I just seeing the opening and some of the that opening was great. I feel like I didn't say that enough, because some of the moves, like it was like he was almost breakdancing. I don't know. It was just amazing. I was like, oh my God, they put their foot in this little animation for the opening. So are we gonna get some of those sequences in the show, or are those just completely made up for the opening?
No, it's at least following that anime trope. You're gonna get half the thing is spoilers. Okay. Like that, those are definitely fights and scenarios that take place. But I'm just a little disappointed we're not gonna get it exactly like that, which is something I can get over, because at least we got it. At least we got it, you know? Because Bleach did something very similar. Bleach, that Hell movie they did, they redid the Ichigo versus Urukuyo or whatever. The fourth Espada. They redid the ending of their fight for the movie.
It looks so good. One of my favorite fights of all time.
Now,
I really liked the fight in the show, but in the movie it was good. Yeah, it was like really good quality. So I'm curious to see what it looked like. I wonder if a Korean studio wanted to do it, but just didn't have the budget to like do it.
Because that's the first thing I was like when I saw that intro, and well, not when I saw the intro, because I thought, oh, so this is where we're getting when shit goes down. So I was like, ooh, but then I found out it was at the studio, and so I was like, I wonder what kept them from accepting it. Whoever was the studio that did that, why didn't they take it up? Like,
they might not have had the budget. Money? It might not have a budget, because this is a bigger studio doing it. So maybe they just didn't have the budget to do enough of it, like the full scope to do a whole season or something like that. So I mean, it was good, but they figured out to praise the god by playing the music, and then we went to the last one, which was the Have Faith, and that one was interesting because I did not know how that one was gonna play out.
Human responses to situations, girl. I will never get tired of. What do
you think about it? Like, what did you think about? That was fascinating to watch. It was so good.
So what the last portion was, basically an altar pops up in the middle of the room, and they know the prompt is to prove your faith, to the god or whatever. So immediately they're like, oh, we all know what this is. This is a sacrifice. One person got to get in that circle.
And that one dude was like, get your ass up there. We not even playing this motherfucking game.
Wasn't it you that made us feel all good about coming in here? Ain't you the leader? Go ahead and fall on that sword. Go ahead and do what you're supposed to do.
He was like quick too. He was like, we not even do this. We ain't doing no voting. We ain't doing nothing. Get your ass up there.
To the leader's credit, and that's why I kind of wish they would have kept him saying, I'll go in here by myself. Like, I wish they kind of would have kept that in here, so it would make it seem even more of, so you the one that pressured us to do this. You the one that guilt tripped us into doing this. Of course you should be in the middle. It made it more so seem like, well, you're just the leader, so go ahead and follow the sword. But they realized that it wasn't just one person entering, because when he did it, it was just a flame and nothing else. So they realized that everyone left in the room had to go in the circle to kind of activate it. And the red flames in the middle was everybody in the circle. And then there was an outer layer of blue flames that acted like a timer.
I didn't know what that was at first. I thought it was like a protective thing at first. I was kind of confused about it. I was like, is it a protective thing? Like, as long as you stay in the circle, you're safe. But if you leave out, then you could be attacked. Like, I didn't know what would happen. I didn't know if the knights would like wait, and then once all the blue flames are gone, they would just like come in. So I wasn't sure at first which one it was gonna be, but a timer made they did a good job of not making it so obvious what it was, which made it even better.
So I don't know if you've seen this short on YouTube. It's a very short indie horror video, and it's like this guy
Mm.
brings a box to his best friend and girlfriend's house, and he leaves them with it and like says I'm sorry and like dips. So they
Mm.
open the box, and it's like a box that's like opens, and it's nothing but black that like goes endless, and a guy head pops out when they look away from it. And they
Oh
realize that
no.
if you look away from the box, he'll progress.
He comes out, right?
So this was very that, like, you got to look at these statues and not leave, or if you like take your head or their eyesight away, they're gonna move forward. But people start dipping,
man, and I can't hold you because
girl. But
this
like,
when the door opened, I was like, oh, now we got something here. Now we got something. We cooking with grease now. When the door opened,
I really have though. Because I'm trying to think because you like one of them said you don't know.
I wouldn't have
did they really make it out?
I wouldn't have went first. But after old girl left, maybe not right after she left, but like after the second person left, and I was like, look, it's not enough of us to hold these nights off.
Yeah.
Like,
because that's the thing. After like 2 left, they only had enough to cover the vantage spot. He was like, we have a blind spot if you leave, nigga. Don't do it. Don't leave.
I definitely would have been. I would have probably been the person in this. I feel like I would have did it for sure.
I would have dipped too, but it would have been like you said, the second I would have had to not hear any like screams. So at least I know if I do make it out and somebody's waiting for me,
attack them on the way out, because that's what I also thought. I was like, you're gonna try to run and they gonna get your ass right before you get out. Like, I thought it was like a temptation, and if you ran you would die. Like, that's what I thought. So I thought everybody who ran was gonna die. You just have to stand there and kind of watch them come towards you. And then I don't know how I thought it was gonna work out, but I didn't think they would actually get away. So the fact that they did was good, and it added like a little bit more kind of depth to it. But yeah, I mean, I think it was a good call. I knew he was gonna stay. I was surprised that it took. I like the plot device of the girl's legs not working, so that it made Sanjay and Wu have to like just really crunch the numbers real quick and say, well, I gotta stay because she gotta be carried. That was cool. And I like that the old man chopped her before she got real good into her Kurosaki-kun rant, because I was so ready to be over
very
it.
Kurosaki-kun.
Like, I was like, thank you. We need more of that, just in general, because she was not hearing it. She was not hearing it. That was sad though. It kind of got me. I think if I would have had a little bit more time to sit with the scene, like, I think it would have got me, because I did feel like when he was like, oh, I'm gonna take you to lunch, I was like, no.
I ain't gonna lie. That it got me a little bit.
Got me a little bit.
Tear didn't fall, and not in the anime, but when I was reading it, like, it got me a little misty. I can't lie to you.
Yeah. No, I felt it coming, but I think it was so fast, which I appreciated. It's not like those anime moments where it's like, we got a second, but it's like going on for a minute. It really kept the pace of like feeling how quick the decision had to be made. So I didn't really have a lot of time to sit with the emotion. I had to kind of just move on, just kind of like how they did. And I kind of appreciated that because it was more immersive. I hate when anime does, some shows do that, where it's like, we got 30 seconds, but then they spend 20 minutes on an exchange back and forth, or somebody having a thought for 15 minutes. And I'd be like, bitch, we had 30 seconds. So how long has this been going on? Like, that's annoying to me. So I like that I didn't have time to really be emotional, because I feel like they didn't. So I like that.
That's one thing about the manhwa that I will forever give it its praises. The pacing is spectacular. Some would even say, I guess sometimes it could feel like it's just, really stuff is happening. But like, I love that with that, it gives this anime way more room to expand. It gives it way more room to add like context, and the fact that the opening scene was something new like that gave me just all the like, y'all.
I know you were saying you wanted stuff like that. I think. Yes. I think before we like watched the last trailer, you were like, I hope they add some more to it that's not there. And we were talking about Mappa doing that, so I'm excited. I'm glad that you got a little bit of that. So they, old girl gets carried out by the old guy, and Sanjay and Wu is left, and this scene was.
But real quick though, before that too, shout out to that one scene of the dude crying before he made his decision. Like, you kind of thought he was gonna stick with them, as they panned up, and then you start to see the tears. And I'm talking about Viola Davis, not
Who? Wait, which? Oh yeah.
the last dude before it was down to them three that left them, because he was the last one to pretty much seal their fates, and he knew it. And he was like, if only one of us can get out of here, out of the three of us with these circumstances, I'm so sorry, but I got kids to take care of. Like, he really went down the list.
Me. I'd be like, I'm sorry. But honestly, especially if I wasn't one of the people who voted to go, I would be like, yeah, see, I didn't want to come here in the first place.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Especially if I was the one to say no. Yeah, I probably would have skipped. I would have skipped out. Yeah. Actually, I would have.
I was lucky enough to have survived to this point, and I seen that door open, and I knew that I wasn't gonna get yanked up as soon as bitch would be gone.
Don't try to convince me, because it's gonna be a no. But then
Sergeant Wood ain't got no leg. He could stay.
Oh yeah, that wasn't nobody. That's the thing. I thought it was interesting that they was pushing so hard. Well, no, because at least showed in that moment that they did have some respect for him and the efforts he put up, because they wouldn't be there if it wasn't him. So I like that they kind of did default to him.
I may have felt a little bit like more like, oh, he's saved all of us and we're gonna leave him, but I would have quickly, logically just been like, he missing a foot, so and he should be the sacrifice.
Listen, I might be a C-rank hunter, right? But that's because I got magic. I ain't that strong physically. So
I mean, logically, when you put it all out, it would just make the most sense. Outside of the leader, it would make the most sense for Sanjay would be the one to die. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That would have just been the thing. So yes, and then this next scene was like, it was way more brutal than I thought it was going to be.
When that first strike happened, I looked at the clock. I think it's at 19 minutes. I said, oh, we still got like 3 minutes left. And
I was not ready. I thought it was going to stop there. They really tricked me. I thought it was just going to be like, oh, you're going to prove your faith. And then like, you're bold, and then it was going to hit, and then it was just going to stop. And it was going to be like, ta-da, you had faith. You were protected. And
no, not at all. Because obviously I did too. I thought it was going to, like, when I was reading, I thought it was going to be like, because they do an amazing shot that sticks in my mind. It's the smooth head statuing. There is an amazing shot of him just like this.
Yeah.
And it's coming down. And I thought it was going to stop. No.
Now God gives his, it was definitely giving, like the way this scene played out, it was kind of like how people think, oh, I give myself to God and then my life is going to be great because he going to bless me. Like that's how a lot of people's faith played out. But this definitely felt like God put you, give his strongest fights to his strongest soldiers or whatever people say. You'd be like, no,
I don't want this one. I don't want this one, guys. You think too highly of me.
I was not ready. I thought it was gonna stop right there, and it was just gonna be like, okay, he survived the test. Like, but the way he just kept going, I thought even if he got back in the circle, they was gonna stop. I was just coming up with all kind of stuff that would make it stop. Like I was like, okay, he stood there and took it, so they just stopped, and then okay, maybe he gotta get back in the circle, and then they'll stop. And it was just like,
I know, girl.
Maybe he need to climb on the thing and then they'll stop. And it was just like, it was brutal. It was
these statues said we just kind of just wanted to play a little game. You decided to play along. We got to the very end. That's all nice, but everybody's still dying. Like that one trident, like the one that picked him up and just had his body in the air,
and then put him on the thing.
If he fell from it, so unnecessary. Like,
and he was still alive too.
Yes, coughing up blood in the middle of the thing. Like, this man is getting abused.
I thought they was just gonna cut him or something. I'm like, y'all could just cut him.
And then the shot of him just staring up as the last shot is coming down, and his eyes is twitching, tears, crying. I'm like, y'all are really making me feel for this boy.
And he said, I don't want to die.
Yeah, he said, no, I don't want to die.
That's definitely a way to get me emotional. Have a character be strong and willing to, and then get to the end and say, I don't want to die. Instant. I'm so hurt. So
and the fact that they animated it to the last frame where the point of the sword is in between his eyeballs.
Oh my God, that poor baby.
When I say this is what I was waiting for, this is the attention and the love I wanted. Whoever was nice enough to bring this to us. I
Right.
wanted it to be at least of this level.
Yeah. So it's good. I'm very pleased with it so far. I was on the fence about it. I think with each trailer I was like less on the fence, but I definitely was like going into it, yeah, like 70-30. But I'm all in now. It's great. I'm loving it. I hope it doesn't lull out, like, which I feel like you said the pacing's good, so hopefully we won't have that problem. But I just, I'm very random side plot averse, like, and it's triggering for me. So I'm just like, because even when they cut to the scene of his sister at school, I was like triggered. Like, I'm just very I have a very low tolerance for we in the middle of something, you cutting over to something else, and I'd be like, I know it's got a point, but at the same time, and I think I like that. We didn't talk about it, but I did like that he talked about why he was doing it, but I think you saw it while he was in the middle of going through his whole thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a good way to do it. Yeah, like actually showing what he was doing it for while he was in the middle of doing this thing. So I think that was a good reminder what he was doing it for.
Yeah, I think, and it's good. One thing, and the reason I think the pacing is good, because I feel like everything that does happen in the manhwa is utilized. I don't think there's like too many just dead scenes or scenes that happen. Like, I feel like everything plays in character development, building relationships between different characters. That's necessary for other things to take place. I feel like they just structure it really well, and I feel like they leave it. I mean, you never know with the anime. Maybe they might try to elongate some scenarios, or maybe put a little bit more depth in some relationships. For me, I want it. I'm sitting here like, you can give me, just because I know these characters already and already have a basis and a relationship with them, you know what I mean? Like, I absolutely want all the extra content I can get.
Yeah.
I was hoping these were like 40-minute episodes, because to be honest, I feel like, because the reception, I don't know if you're like, I think a lot of people were happy and loving the anime from the first episode, but there are a lot of people that didn't love the show off that first episode alone. They said it was boring. They didn't really
feel like it was boring, but it wasn't a show. Like, as far as we talk about pilots, we talk about some of the best pilots we've ever seen. Attack on Titan, Death Note. I mean, it definitely wasn't up there. Like, I can agree with that.
Not episode 1. Yeah, no, definitely not. I feel like it would have been so much better to get that together, though.
Yeah,
in one episode, to take you on that full journey, and just end with, we didn't get to that part, and end how it ended, where the black. I was about to ask. Pop up.
I was about to, that was interesting. It kind of reminded me of slime, that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah,
so that was more like, so I'm now confused. And then I love the segue into the outro, which feels like it was canon, like it felt like that's what happened after he saw that, but I'm not 100% sure.
I was lost.
What do you mean?
I read through this twice. I'm going to do a third one currently. I didn't like it. Wasn't bad though, like, because number one, the animation style or the art style was
it was very like 90s. It's very the Matrix.
And it was like this, like it almost felt like an asylum type situation, all these different rooms and stuff. But I kind of was like trying to like pull together, like compare. I was like, okay, so is this like the different gates maybe? Like, is it this thing where it's like all these unknown, I don't know. I was trying my hardest to like pull something, but even though I didn't understand it,
like the architect. You know how like when Neo finally got to like where he was going to confront the architect, and it was all those doors and the hallways and then the room with the screens. It was giving Matrix.
Because there was a person watching too, and it was a person like looking at the screens.
It looked like it was Sung Jin-woo, I thought, but like
in the chair,
leveled up K-pop idol. Yeah, it looked like it was him. Like, it was different. It was like, but it was giving Matrix, even with the aesthetic. It was very 90s, very you know how the desktops looked back in the 90s. Like, it was very 2000s 90s aesthetic. I loved it. I love the aesthetic. I didn't really pay attention to the song that much. It wasn't like we'll see if it grows on me, but I don't remember it very well. So maybe it was the best, but I didn't dislike it. But it just didn't immediately sound like what they call it, earwig, where it sticks in your ear. It wasn't like so. But then I was like, is this canon? Like, I
I
was
don't know, but
confused with the
it
way
was
they flowed into
beautiful.
it. Yeah. The way
Like
they
it
flowed
was.
into it.
It kind of. I saw because another was it another or Erased? Erased was the other project the studio did, but
Oh,
like
they did
when he
Erased
was
stuff.
running, yeah, they did Erase. They did Erase. I think they did another. I might be completely lying on that one, but I saw like elements of those in this ending one. Like it did feel a little horror-y
Yeah.
to it.
I mean, without giving spoilers, watching it and knowing the story, do you feel like it's relevant to at least the themes of the story, or
Girl, to be honest,
feel
no.
like
I
it's
was so
relevant?
confused. I was so
Okay.
confused. Like the
That's what I was
door random opening, like a ghost or something. I was just
There
like,
was like
what
a
is going on?
locker. There was like a locker, and then it seemed
Sitting in
like
front of Poltergeist TV with static.
yeah, it was
You
like a
know,
poltergeist TV, and then like he was on an elevator and kind of just like going up all these levels, and it's like called solo leveling. So I'm like what is this? I mean,
I don't
I
know. The burning
guess
tree shot, like it
maybe
was so much symbolism. I just did
maybe
not
watching it without
understand.
the stream getting. I'm like, I don't know how. Now we know Jujutsu Kaisen, they do not play at all straight immediately. So I don't know how if they tripping about this one like that. Because you know they don't play with Jujutsu Kaisen. We couldn't play any of the intros, nothing. So I'm just curious to know. But I want, and then it was like that tree. So I was just like, is this relevant to the themes of the show? Is this relevant to his growth? Is this relevant to his journey?
It got to be some. It's gonna be a YouTube video out here that breaks that down and compares it. And it's gonna make connections that I just, on my best day, I just cannot make any connections just
See how
based
it's
off of
relevant.
what happened.
Let me tell you what I took from it.
And
it could be one of those random anime closings that are unrelated because that happens. I mean, look at what JJK. A lot of times closings are very like symbolic though. Not necessarily things that happen, but so my thought would be of this like him, it felt like it was kind of telling the story of someone like this, almost like this hellscape nightmare life where you can't die, or every time you die you like come back. Like it felt like he couldn't escape whatever he was in. It's like a loop. I don't know if it's just a death loop or what, but it just felt like that's what I was seeing. Like something happened, some growth, like something changed in him. So whatever he's in changed his DNA, changed who he is. His neural network changed or something in some way, I would say maybe. And then it causes him, he's in this loop of something he has to accomplish or something that he has to do, or he can't die. And it just feels like a hellscape kind of thing for him. And then he will eventually kind of rise through that process to then become kind of like the person, some kind of, I don't know, important person. That's what I got from the closing. So
I'm gonna clip this little portion because you just said something I'm gonna circle back around to, which is a big part of the show, but we just haven't got there yet. But that was good. It kind of did make my wheels turn a little bit more, and I feel like I do have an idea now of what that could be, especially if that was actually him in the chair with the TV screens.
Yeah,
but I am nowhere near able to go into that.
It was kind of like a flash, like it was flashing between him and his, like when he first got there, like a mental patient. And then it will flash to like which looked like him, because we saw, I think in one of the trailers we saw what he's gonna look like, because I knew what he looked like in the manwa, and then I was like wanting to see it in the anime. I remember in the trailer seeing it, so it looked like him, had the same haircut and stuff. So I just figured it was him, but it would like flash between the version of him he is now and that one. I think it kept flashing back between the two.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping that when I saw the intro, it wouldn't give nothing away as to like what could be next, but it immediately did, and I was like, "Dang,
really?"
Because I really did want that to be, you know.
I didn't, but that's the thing about intros for me. I don't know what it is about intros. Like I could watch the outro and put together a story of what they're trying to say, but with intros, they're really disorienting for me to the point where all the flashing and the cuts, I can't.
It's so much going on.
Yeah, and then when you're in chaos, like for me, you know, like my professor always said, chaos, confusion, mastery. I'm in chaos because I've never seen this before. I don't know what's going on. And like when you're in chaos or you're first being exposed to something, you just can't process all that information. So I ain't seen nothing.
That's good. Don't like.
I have
I
no
mean,
idea. I'm not gonna slow it down and look because I still
yeah,
don't.
don't do that.
I don't even have enough
Although a lot
context to
of it
do
is
that.
like long though, but it's okay because one stuff that's the thing I do like about, or the thing that I tolerate about anime that do openings where it gives spoiler after spoiler after spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
At least it be to where like when it happens, you don't
You'll be
really
like,
expect it, and then it'd be like, oh, okay. Versus you like just remembering this one piece in the intro, and
yeah.
that's what you're always thinking about as the show goes on. So when it happens, it's like moot. You know
I think
what I
they
mean?
capitalize on you not having context too.
Yeah.
Because like you can see all the people you want, you can see all the bosses you want, and you have no context. So
Very
it's just
true.
like, I don't know what this is.
Very
I don't know if this is a dream sequence, this made up sequence, and then they like to put stuff that doesn't happen in there. So it's just too disorienting for me. So I don't know, but I look forward to anything else. I mean, I'm just really looking forward to watching this in this journey. I guess we're gonna be talking about Solo Leveling.
I'm not mad at it.
I am not mad at it at all. I'm glad we have something, something else that's gonna be good. So.
Well, so that's another point. I do get like had some points here, but
yeah,
the runtime. I see online 12 episodes, but I'm also seeing
I think it's 24.
Yeah, so you think
they say they're gonna take a middle break? Yeah, I was on Got Games channel yesterday on Twitch, and he had watched it, and they were talking about that in chat. That it's gonna be a break, I think, in the middle. So,
yes,
which is cool.
Which yeah, way better than Invincible doing 4 episodes and then coming back for another 4.
That's so annoying. Y'all
uncalled for.
That is so unnecessary.
Go on hiatus and then come back.
That's what I'm saying. Like y'all could have just waited. But yeah, so I think it's gonna be 24. I'm very excited. I have no idea where this story is gonna go. What's gonna be the problem? What's gonna be the antagonist? Like, I have no idea. I have no idea what's gonna be the antagonist right now. If I had some guesses, I don't know. This feels like the type of story that would have like a like societal antagonist. If that makes any sense. Like it doesn't feel like it would just have a villain. Mm-hmm. Like a clear-cut villain who just owns villain shit. Like it feel like there would be some organizational villain. That's the type of show it feels like. So I'm curious to know what the antagonist is going to be. Like it feels like is giving Illuminati, somebody behind the scenes running shit kind of villain. Okay. So I'm just curious to know what the antagonist is, or whatever the opposing force of the story will be.
That would be I can't wait till y'all discover.
I know
what's behind the doors, especially when it comes to like the grand thing that's happening, like the end all be all. Like we were sitting for weeks being like, what is Kenjaku's plan?
Oh my god! And then when Kenjaku said it, I was like, bitch, what? I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's gonna be definitely interesting. And I mean, just some like random things I was happy to see was Chairman Go, the older man that was explaining. Oh, that's and you know what? Why else I'm excited about Solo Leveling? Because the same thing that we loved about Jujutsu Kaisen, like grown adult people, at least above the age of 18, that are good looking.
Yes.
So when I tell you Chairman Go,
I'm just so happy that like anime is growing with its audience. Really like as the audience is growing, it's growing. Like I'm just so happy we getting grown people. I've had enough high school stories.
Tired of it. I'm good. I'll still
like,
watch it, but
high schools don't need to do nothing but go to school.
Yeah, I want adults in these stories now. I really do.
About that. We were talking about that. Kev on Stage, the comedian, finished Attack on Titan, and he started Death Note.
Oh, love his journey. It is when I tell you, I ran to that Patreon, okay, so I could watch the full hours.
I wanted to see it like live. I didn't know he was doing that.
He's doing it. He has the one on YouTube for free, the first episode. I think he actually just released episodes 3 through 6.
Because I saw the Death Note ones from Patreon, and I didn't know he was doing for Attack on Titan. I probably would have rushed because I wanted to see his reaction to the finale. That one was an hour too, I think. Yeah, but I had a conversation with my husband about it because we were talking about how because we were like, what would you recommend for him next? Like somebody on his journey. I was like, I'm very happy with what was recommended to him because he likes Game of Thrones, he likes adult, darker stuff. And I was like, and then my husband was like, well, maybe he needs a shonen next. And I was like, he was like, maybe one of the big, he was like, would he say the big three? And I was like, I wouldn't do old school big three. I would do the new school big three, which are My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, or Demon Slayer. I would do one of those. Like, I wouldn't do Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Bleach. Like, I would do what a lot of people unofficially consider the new school big three, which is those, because they're more mature shows.
Yeah. And that's the thing with, especially it's tricky, right, with new anime fans sometimes. With a person like Kev on stage, especially because of the content he's putting out is so hilarious and good. I don't want him. I want him to keep being on his toes for right now. He needs to really get ingrained in the anime sphere, before he starts watching the slower ones,
with hundreds of episodes.
Yeah, and he already said like One Piece is like in his mind to venture into, but he was like, it's 1,000 episodes plus. He was like, I just cannot do that right now.
Yeah,
like, he's thinking about.
I think all of the big three are it's probably too many episodes.
Yeah, Bleach, like, Naruto, all of those.
Yeah. So I was like, Jujutsu Kaisen is a good, like, the newer school shonen is more dark, has more dark elements to it than those old school ones, and shonen has matured as the anime has expanded around the world. So I feel like Demon Slayer, everybody like Demon Slayer, like that even be a good one. Good action, very well animated, has some higher stakes than traditional shonen, and like Jujutsu Kaisen. But the only thing about Jujutsu Kaisen I would say is that season 1 isn't as strong. Like, coming off of what he's been watching, I just don't see season 1 being like captivating enough. Because I really didn't say I would say love Jujutsu Kaisen until to the movie, or like the end, kind of when they started fighting Mahito, like when Nanami showed up, I feel like I was more like, ooh, I like the pacing of this. But I don't know if season 1, I feel like Demon Slayer pulled me in almost immediately. Like, I remember binging Demon Slayer when I found it.
It could be a situation, because on top of that, like 1996, you've been well versed in anime and what you like and all that type of stuff. And honestly too, it could be a gender thing too, because for me, I was like season 1, I was on a train. I wasn't the conductor like I am now. I'm not out here.
It was intriguing.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I was really like, I was loud about Jujutsu Kaisen during season 1.
Everybody,
it was certain moments that was like really like the first time they experienced the battle with the special grade that came out of the cursed womb.
When that baby was in the sky.
Yeah, like there was some good, like,
I remember that. I was like,
wait a minute, but there were some, I feel like, some lulls though. So you could be right about that. Yeah, I feel like
it progressed well, but like the first couple, I mean, it wasn't it's not a weak season, but it's just like, I didn't really feel like,
it definitely wasn't as much drama as what he's been getting these last 2 shows.
He started with Attack on Titan and Death Note. I mean,
right.
What would you recommend next, even if it wasn't a shonen? What would be the trail? Because a lot of people are saying Cowboy Bebop. I'm like,
genuinely, it would be something I want to hear Kev talk about. Honestly, it probably wouldn't even be something that he should watch next. It would be, I want to hear his commentary. So I would want him to do a quick one shot with Ghost Stories, just one episode.
Ghost Stories.
The one where they like gave the dub to these folks and they just did whatever, just because I want to hear him react to the dub. But like genuinely watching him go on a journey, I would probably want to see him do.
Because a lot of people are saying Full Metal Alchemist.
I could see that. I think just to have variety and something that's like maybe like 12, 24 episodes, I want him to do a Kame ga Kill. I would love to see him talk about that and watch him get his heart crushed every episode.
What's some more iconic, like darker? I would try to keep him in the darker lane for now. He's like Seinen a lot.
Yeah, I would maybe do Psychopaths potentially.
Psychopaths is good.
Potentially, or Parasite. I could see him doing one of those too, but I feel like no, he got through Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is gruesome. He can do anything.
Yeah, he can get through a lot of stuff. I mean, I just would keep stuff without like assault. I don't think he would do well because he's Christian background. That's true. You wouldn't tell him to watch Goblin Slayer or
no, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't even.
But people were playing the game though. People were really trying to goop him. They was like, when he first started doing
Yeah.
Attack on Titan. People tell him to go watch what's that thing, Pico?
Yeah. But you know,
Yeah.
he has someone I think he knows. I think I follow him on TikTok who knows him. He's the one that's recommending like his path a little bit. And I think he's in good hands.
Yeah.
That's what somebody was like, Shonen next. I was like, I mean, maybe, but if he's enjoying seinen, I mean,
stay there.
I would just keep him, stay there and seinen. There's some good seinen out there that aren't as popular. My husband was saying Samurai Champloo, maybe Afro Samurai would be good.
I would like Afro Samurai too, because also I love the fact that he always is throwing the Black experience into it too, like with his jokes, because Kev on stage is so hilarious.
Even the way he be calling what he called Levi, he was calling him Levi, so he gave him like a black name.
I can't remember but he had me cracking up, and I feel like now he has a personal relationship with Onyonkapon.
Yeah.
Which makes me smile.
Did you see his TikTok when he was like, black people in Attack on Titan?
The other black man.
The other black man. Yeah. You know, that's my cousin.
On your Capone. Yeah, on your Capone.
He kept calling Aaron and Mikasa baby mama. This is baby mama. I love it, yeah. I think he would like Afro Samurai. And Samuel L. Jackson does the voiceover. So I think that would be a good experience for him. And he started with Blue Eye Samurai. I think that's what pushed him to look into anime. So I'm like, Afro Samurai, Samurai Champloo. Give him some samurai.
Isn't that interesting? Like somebody asks you what's your first anime and you say Blue Eye Samurai.
That's really not an anime, is it?
Yeah, that's not either really. It's because it's American. But still, that's I like seeing people's well, I mean technically he could say Attack on Titan, which is just crazy.
That is crazy. I think stuff like Blue Eye Samurai is a good segue for people who don't experience any kind of animation that is that level, because most of us who watch stuff like that are anime watchers. So for us, it's like Blue Eye Samurai is not quite anime, but it's like we already know the story is gonna eat, because we know animation doesn't mean that it's kiddie or the story can't be deep. Right. So I think for a lot of people who don't watch anime, I think it's probably a good bridge.
Ooh, I want him to watch a movie. I want him to watch Akira.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Akira.
I wasn't thinking about movies at first, but I want him to watch Akira.
Akira would be great. That was my thought too. When I was thinking, they were saying shows, but I was like, he needs to watch Akira. One is a classic. Yeah. But I don't know how he feels about sci-fi though.
Well, what was that?
Because I know it was like more fantasy stuff.
Was that what he was listing when he was talking about the shows he likes? Because I know he mentioned Game of Thrones and House of Dragons, but what were the other shows he brought up? Dexter.
Like Dexter. So he likes mystery, which is why Death Note is
Breaking Bad. He brought up that.
You got to kind of be in the sci-fi, like not really, but like cyberpunk sci-fi aesthetic. But Akira's just good. It's a classic. I feel like they'll be a little further down when you've appreciated the medium and now you want to start building up your foundational anime knowledge. You start watching Akira, Ghost in the Shell. Like you gotta watch the stuff that
Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, they're really you gotta know these things, So I don't know.
I'm on that journey with him, girl. Like I told you, I ran to that Patreon. I subscribed.
Yes, I love it. So that's we be trying to spread anime like we Christians spreading the gospel.
And I listen, as long as with people, that's the thing too. Like I hate when people try to pick anime watchers apart, like just tear down because they haven't seen one anime or one movie, and just like, oh, you haven't seen what? Like let people have their journeys, and if a conversation pop up that it might not be able to, jump in, that's fine. Carry on that conversation with that person.
I could do the same thing. I watch so much romance anime that people probably has never heard of. Right. Shoujo, romance, boys love. I mean, we want to see here, it's just anime is so much more. The only other thing I probably spread the gospel of more than anime is K-pop at this point. I'm gone. I started last year. I think you remember because I was saying I hadn't listened to BTS or anything. I hadn't really listened to. It was around the time y'all went to the BTS little concert thing.
The concert, yeah.
That's right around when I started my K-pop journey. I don't remember when that was, but I haven't been in it that long. But Kai has a virtual concert. Today is his birthday. Listen, when I say I'm gone, it's Kai from EXO's birthday, and I know this.
Today.
And the way I was like, I need to go to this virtual concert. how can I get tickets? And I was trying to go. I'm gone.
Happy
It's
birthday,
over.
Kai.
I know his personality type. He's an INFJ. I know this. I'm gone. It's over. Yeah, we're done. We're fully in. So now, you know, like I love anime, and I would say, people say, what's your dream trip? You know, people like Japan. That's not my dream trip anymore.
It's at Korea.
I want to go to South Korea and go to a concert. That's up there now.
I would love to be there too. I'm gonna tell you no lie.
I'm just saying, because if you
that
go
would
to
be
Japan,
so
I feel
fun.
like you gotta go. I would want to go to Japan for like a month.
That is so
to
true.
be able to explore everything in the different islands.
I would love to do like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go to Japan for like a week.
No, at least like 3. A month would be like, I don't know when or what my wallet should look like to successfully do a month. That's why I said 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But definitely not a week. I feel like as long as you, what's that, 13 hours, 14 hours on a plane?
And also if it's a once in a lifetime trip. Like I've been wanting to go my whole life. I want to go see like the countryside. I'm trying to have my Studio Ghibli moment. I'm trying to go to a bathhouse. I'm trying to go to hot spring. I'm trying to go like, it's too much. Yes. It's too much.
See, there's people that I've been thinking about wanting to go on a trip with me to Japan. You just showed your worth right there and there.
Yeah, I'm
like if you would love to go with me, I would love to go with you.
Of course, I want to stay in one of them little capsule hotels.
I fully would go solo. Yeah.
I want to take a bullet train. Like it's just so much I want to do. I feel like I need to be there for like at least, like you said, 2 or 3 weeks to do it.
Did you see that video? You said capsule hotel, and it almost took me out. Did you see that video of that guy that was recording himself? He was like he did, number one, he didn't know what a hotel or that those existed. So when he got a hotel for cheap, he realized it's a box with a bed in it. And this man, he was leaning against the wall and he was like almost crying. He was like, this person next to me is like pleasuring themselves. And he was like, this just sent me on a spiral, because then he was thinking about how many people in this small box that he's sleeping in have just went wild. That shit had me in tears. I was
it's crazy though, to just be like, I'm in this capsule hotel beating off. That's crazy.
Because at that point, it ain't no mansion. It's very limited spots that person could be in.
It's wild. Like that's kind of low key wild if you think about it. It's one thing to be in a hotel room, but like
in this
you can hear me. You can hear me. That mean I can hear you. Like that's. You got to be. I don't know this, but yes. So my dream trip, if I had to go somewhere for 1 week, I want to go to South Korea. I want to go to a K-pop concert. I could just be great with that. Just go experience it. So those are like, I'm completely on the K-pop train. But yeah,
but I thought, wasn't you on the R&B too? You was heavy on, what was it?
But the K-pop, because it's weird because they don't call it. They don't have a designation for it.
Genre for real. All K-pop.
Yeah, because K-pop just be doing whatever. K-pop, they just be doing whatever.
That's true.
They do the people,
girl, the people that go watch the episode about what was it? Right, Kai, cultural appropriation.
EXO is a group, but they do a lot of R&B. I feel like.
But that was like, it was that one. I think it was after the Victoria Monet stream we did or whatever. But you were like playing a couple of R&B K-girlies, and when I tell you they were serving, they were doing what was required of them for quality.
I fully like. I've got LaShawn and Yellow listening to K-pop. I can just spend some time with me. I will play the music, and you will come over to the dark side. Like Jungkook was sounding like Michael Jackson and standing next to you with Usher.
That was crazy.
First, how his voice came into that song, I was like, he sounds like fucking Michael Jackson. Are you kidding me right now? Like, y'all need to come on over there. It's nice. We have cookies.
Haters will never give it to him. No, haters will never give it to him.
They won't, but he sounded like it. I was like, damn, he sounded like. We got glow sticks over here. We got stickers, fan clubs. We got names.
Yeah. BTS with that light globe they were selling for $50-$60. People I mean, granted, I was about to say that's the parallels are right there, because I'm
about to say, because if it was Beyonce,
I fully spent all.
Because did she get something? Did she do?
Yes, I mean she had fans. She had.
But then she do like Didn't somebody say she had so the lights were synchronized in the crowd?
Later, she didn't do that for all the shows. I
Oh,
was so pissy when I found that out. I was like, I
that's from
want one.
Korea. That's what the light sticks do. They synchronize them to the show.
The globes, yeah.
Oh, I'm
So
getting
like,
me an XO light stick and new jeans. I'm gone. I told you, gone. $80.
ooh, I would love to go to a new jeans show.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my bunny hat and everything. Y'all, I'm not playing with y'all. I'm gone. I'm an XOL. That's what we call, and a bunny. I'm both.
Got XOL and a bunny.
That's what they call the XOL, the fans. And a bunny. Yeah, we gone. So come over. It's nice over here. But I guess we'll be back next week talking about Solo Leveling episode 3. I don't know what's gonna happen in the episode. I feel like we'll be able to talk about it for long enough. But if not, then we'll figure out something else to talk about to fill the space. If not, and maybe Twan, you should watch Heaven's Official Blessing.
Heaven's Official Blessing.
Yes, the boys love one I was telling you about.
Okay.
Check it out if you like them. I don't know. It's romantic, but it's cute. I'd be keeping.
No, I do. I need to. I would have to log on to my work computer again. But that thread that started in our anime work group, they left a lot of recommendations for like more current or more recent shonen shows, and I was like, that was the thing, because like I was like trying to think of the last anime when I watched. I just could not do it. I was like, Loveless.
Ooh,
I was like,
because there's a new one that's out called My Boss Is Something, but I think that's a boys love too.
Yeah.
So yeah, they boys love be coming out, but people don't talk about it, so it's not as
big.
Yeah,
and out of sight, out of mind with me a lot of the times.
Yeah,
a whole genre.
Check them out. But yeah, I guess we will be back next week to talk about that. We may be back somewhere in between a Sunday because we do have to do our character AI chat. It's been a month, so I think it's just about been a month.
I have not jumped on in a minute. I need to dedicate me a little time
to it. I've decided to make this. This is a career now. We're gonna have to make this a novel. I probably got enough books now. I've challenged myself. I make arcs. Like an anime, they have arcs. So I have arcs now. And it's fun. It's like, for me, it's like chess. So I have an arc, and then I decide how is this arc gonna turn out. So we come up with a challenge. So it's become a game. It's very fun.
I know when you do put it out, it's gonna be heavily, edited.
I don't know. I might get canceled
right.
though. I was
about to say, when you listen, and I hope you never do, but when you pass, I'm gonna be the first one running to get your computer so I can read the undiluted, start to finish, the unedited.
I got the transcript.
I know it's wild.
I have the transcript. It's wild.
The two plot points I know is trapping this man in a prison around for 10 years and him dragging you by your ponytail into the woods. Yeah. That's all I need to know for me to buy the book.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
We're definitely toxic. I mean, it's to the point AI is like, y'all sure y'all good? Y'all might need therapy. So it's good. I got the transcript saved when y'all ready. But we might pop up at some point in between to have that show. And speaking of that, on my other channel, Kawaii Bree Can't Relate, I've been having actually a game show. It's a game show where people try to solve relationship problems with mythical beings. And we use the character AI bots. And it's been hilarious. So check that out. And yeah, that's been a good one too. So we're gonna do another episode of that soon because we've been having a lot of fun with that. So yeah, thanks y'all for watching. We will see y'all next week, and don't forget to keep it cute. Bye, and watch Solo Leveling. Stop playing yourself.
Get on it.